Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. Markets open up pretty soon, so I want to make sure I get this video up quick before markets open. So if you watched the last video about Bitcoin, I gave you upside targets to pay attention to potentially short, and we did get rejected at those points. If you watched the last video I put up, it was about Nvidia. I went into detail why I think it's very possible Nvidia could be topped out for a drop today. I'll put a link up this video now if you want to check it out. I did go into detail about this. As far as upside targets for Bitcoin, I talked about the D1 chart, said your first upside target was 47,660. We did get a rejection from that point. We did push back up. So your next point to short was around 48,442. I'll link this video now if you want to check it out. The next, and this is the D1 chart. I'll give you downside targets in just a bit. Also give your next upside targets on the Bitcoin 3.0 chart. I said, look, if we get above 47,665 and that holds a support, which it did, your next point to short was this red line and this line here, which is around 48,700. We did get a rejection pretty much to the dollar at that point, as you can see right here. So I'd be short below that point. Now I did say if we get above that, I gave you one more target above, so we're going to cover that upside target also. Guys, if you want to get a leverage trading, in every single video that I put up, I always give you guys the link. So if you want to sign up for CoinCatch, BingX, and BitGet, these are 3 exchanges I trust and use. Remember, CoinCatch is no KYC, so if you want to use that link and sign up, take advantage of it while you can. Great if you're in the States, and also have it pinned in the first comment as well. Guys, if you learn how to trade on any of these exchanges, they're pretty much all the same. This is learning how to trade on BitGet, opening a long, a short, setting a stop loss, adjusting your stop loss, trigger orders, all that. I'll link this video now if you want to watch it. So let's cover a few things, guys. So again, I told you 48,500 was a very strong resistance level. We did get a little bit above it, but again, if you would use the Bitcoin 3.0 chart and caught that to the dollar pretty much. This is the Bitcoin 3.0. This is the same chart on the 2-hour. Notice that wick came up and stopped right at that point. This is a published version of this chart. It was published on February 1st. Just want to show you how this worked out. As we came up and we hit that literally to the damn dollar and got rejected. In Discord, I was pretty much covering the exact same thing I'm telling you now. The 48,700 around that area was your next major resistance if we get above 48,473. We got rejected at both of those key resistance levels. Notice we hit this to the dollar on the D1 chart. And I made a post about this, and this is what's amazing. We got a perfect rejection right at this fib channel line, came down, found perfect support, pushed up, got a brief rejection of 48,400 around the area, pushed up to that next target. And this is what I was talking about, our next upside target. If we get above 48,800, I'll show you that also. And I was talking about Nvidia. Today is the day. We're getting rejected, so I would be short from this point. However, if we get above, you might want to go long up to, and again, I was mentioning 50K. But again, this is what we need to find out. Again, we're at a key resistance level. We got rejected for Bitcoin, and we are at basically both these charts nailed that point for a short. Now again, if we get above that, the next target above, I will give you those targets. Guys, if you want to get access to Discord and these live charts, if you want to sign up, the link is pinned in the first comment description. It's opticalartcrypto.com. I have stocks, I have Bitcoin and altcoin charts, and I have tutorials teaching this method of charting. If you want to learn how to create these charts for yourself, you can't pay with USDT, but you need to email me through the website. And to get access to the Discord, you need to email me through the website as well. So let me give you a few targets to pay attention to. So as I mentioned before, guys, and there's a lot of confluence here, if we get above and hold above 48,500, your next key resistance to potentially short or take profit, I believe, is around 50,000 to 50,500, depending when we make contact. A lot of charts showing that's a lot of resistance above. Your current support level to pay attention to is right now. And again, I mentioned in the previous video, go back and watch it, how I found this this yellow line here as a possible resistance level. But there's a lot of support here at 47,400. Remember, green means long. So look, if we get below 47,000, let's say 400, and that becomes resistance, then we're looking at some more downside targets. Your next strongest support level on this chart right now is around 45,800. This is the Bitstamp 3.0 chart. So notice we got a rejection right at 48,828 where these two lines intersect. Your next resistance level above, again, guys, a lot of charts are showing around 50K, and there is, if you actually look at the heat maps, there's a lot of liquidity around 50K. We could push up, take out that liquidity, but again, I would be short from 48,800. Hopefully you shorted that point. You have a stop loss just below, so if you push up, you lose nothing, and then you can enter another short. Now, if you want to stay long, guys, that's up to you. I'm not telling anybody to close your long. I'm just telling you it looks like the indices and some of these big cap stocks are potentially top for some downside. We're going to cover Nvidia in just a sec. But again, just like the other chart, a lot of confluence here. So again, 47,500 looks like a key support level. And your next major support level in this chart is around, let's just say, close to 45,000. So those are your main targets to pay attention to. Again, above 48,800, possibly bullish up to 50K, but I would not chance holding my long above that point. And again, we got a perfect rejection at this point. So your current major resistance right now, if you're playing levels, more precision targets, is around 48,938. And again, your support level is right down here around 47,500. Obviously, you break below that, again, same thing as the bit stamp on the daily chart. You're looking at around 45,000. So I showed you that, guys. Covered Discord. Again, if you can access Discord, make sure you sign up to the charts. This is another chart, M1. I did update this chart, added a fib channel line to it. You can see this was our previous high back here this was the 11th of January. This coincides with the fib channel line. So again, a lot of resistance here at 49K. So it does look like this is a potential to have at least some downside to the targets I gave you, around 45,000. This shows around 45,500. Again, a lot of confluence. That'd be a point to chance along. If you get below that point, we could see a lot more downside. This is the H1 chart. This is for smaller targets. So you can see your current major resistance right now on the 1 hour chart is potentially 48,000 up to 48,200. If you get above that and that holds as support, as I said, guys, your next major target to watch is up around 50K. There's a lot of resistance up to that level. Your next key support on the H1 chart is right here if you want to chance along at 46,739. And then your next major support level below will be 45,500. Again, a lot of charts are showing 45,500 as a lot of support. But it does look like this is getting a little toppy, so you should be short from 48,078, get above that, and then be long up to 50K. As I mentioned before, guys, go back and watch that video I linked earlier about Nvidia. As I mentioned, these rings, every time we cross one of these red rings, we get a drop for Nvidia. This is that published chart I covered in that previous video. Take note, cross red ring drop. You can see what happens. We ride up this ring. This is the next ring we're about to cross. So you can see when I zoom in here, again, I did cover this in detail in the previous video. We rode up the ring, we crossed it, we dropped. Rode up the ring, crossed it, we dropped. We had one hell of a push up. We're about to cross this red ring, which to me indicates we could possibly have a drop. So today might be a good day to short Nvidia. Keep in mind, guys, my Dow chart, I mentioned this for probably the past few weeks. If we push up, this is the strongest resistance level I have on my Dow chart, which is around 38,850. Keep in mind, not only is this line right here a very strong resistance level going way, way back, you can see that this curve that was support, flipped as resistance, coincides right with this key resistance level, meaning we could have some downside for the indices. Remember, for the Dow's coming down, the other indices will come down as well. NASDAQ, the S&P, they typically follow each other. So if we're pretty much topped with the Dow, Nvidia is about to potentially have some downside, and we're at some key resistance with Bitcoin, it kind of makes sense. We could be looking at a lot of downside from this point. So today we find out, all right, am I right or am I wrong? If we push above 48,500 or 48,800, be bullish up to around 50,000, maybe 50,500. That would be an ideal point to short with a stop above. That being said, if we start dropping and getting below targets like 47,300, potentially 45,800, then it looks like the trajectory might have changed and we have some downside. But again, you need to follow all of the markets to kind of get an idea of what's going on. But as far as swing trading, these are your main targets to pay attention to right now. Guys, if you want to get access to these live charts in Discord, again, the link's pinned in the first comment description to opticalcrypto.com. I do have Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, stocks, and I have tutorials teaching my methods. About 6 or 7 videos, about an hour long each. I do narrate and teach you everything you need to know to create these charts from scratch. And guys, if you do want to learn how to trade on BitGet, this is a tutorial video if you want to watch it. But guys, that's pretty much it. Let's see what happens, and I am very eager to see how Nvidia plays out when it crosses this ring today. I say, guys, trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.